My name is Jake. I'm 30 years old, and until recently, my life seemed to be on a winding but ultimately manageable path. I grew up in a small town in the Midwest where everyone knows each other, and life moves at a slow pace, marked by the changing seasons. My father was my hero, a strong and kind man who taught me the value of hard work and loyalty. However, our lives changed drastically when at 15, my father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I remember as if it were yesterday the day he gave me Rex, a black Labrador puppy, as a sign of love and hope while he fought his battle. Rex was my faithful companion for 15 years, becoming a constant in my life. Together we faced my father's death, the typical struggles of adolescence, and the transition to adulthood. Rex was always there, with those sweet and understanding eyes, offering me comfort that no human could ever give. But life has a cruel way of turning everything upside down. And recently, everything I had fell apart. In the past few months, my life started to crumble. I lost my job, which put me in a precarious financial situation. I worked as a manager at a small distribution company, a job that wasn't great but allowed me to live decently. However, with the onset of the pandemic and the economic changes, the company had to make cuts, and I was one of the first to be laid off. Not only was my career in crisis, but my love life was also falling apart. My girlfriend, Sarah, with whom I had been for 3 years, seemed increasingly distant. Our arguments had become frequent and painful, and there was less and less understanding between us. She accused me of being too closed off, of not wanting to talk about my problems, but the truth was, I didn't know how to face them. In the end, she also decided to leave, leaving me alone in a cold, empty apartment. But the hardest blow came when I lost Rex. He was old, I knew that, but I wasn't ready to say goodbye. One evening, as we always did, I took him to the park near our home. Rex was used to being off-leash. He had always been good and never strayed beyond the sidewalk. However, lately he had started enjoying chasing squirrels that moved among the trees in the park. That day, as usual, I let him run free. I never imagined it would be the last time. Rex saw a squirrel crossing the park and, without thinking, chased after it. He ran towards the road, and I, unable to stop him in time, watched him run into an oncoming car at full speed. The driver didn't even stop, and Rex was hit. Watching him die in my arms with those eyes that had always expressed love and loyalty completely shattered me. The guilt consumed me. I could have kept him on a leash. I could have protected him, but I didn't. After Rex's death, I felt like I had nothing left to live for. The pain was unbearable. Every corner of my house reminded me of Rex, and my father's absence felt more acute than ever. Every day was a struggle against the darkness consuming me. I started drinking to try to drown out the pain, but it never worked enough. The sense of emptiness grew larger, and in the end, I decided it was time to end it all. One night, I took a bottle of whiskey, sat on the couch with a photo of Rex and my father in my hands, and started drinking. I wanted to shut everything off, to slip away into nothingness. With each sip, I felt the world becoming more distant, and the only thing left was a distorted sense of peace, as if I was finally making the right choice. After finishing the bottle, I lay down, waiting for the darkness to engulf me. I don't know how much time had passed, but at some point, I found myself in a place that was neither my home nor a hospital. It was a vast prairie, green and bright, with golden light filtering through the clouds, illuminating everything with reassuring warmth. The calm that enveloped me was indescribable, a deep sense of peace I had never felt before. There were no noises, just the gentle rustle of the wind through the grass, and a fresh, enveloping scent that seemed to come directly from nature itself. And there, in the middle of that field, I saw him. Rex, my beloved Rex, was running towards me, as happy as I hadn't seen him in years. He was wagging his tail, expressing pure and sincere joy that only a dog can show. But there was something different about him. Something deeper. Rex wasn't just a physical presence. I felt a mental, almost spiritual connection with him. He didn't bark, but he communicated with me clearly, as if words were unnecessary. I knelt as he approached, and when I hugged him, I felt warmth and tranquility filling my soul. Tears began to flow freely down my face. Tears not only of sadness, but of relief, of gratitude for finding him again. And then suddenly, without making a sound, his words began to form in my mind. "It's not your time yet, Jake," he said with a calmness that seemed to come from ancient wisdom. I know you've suffered, and I know you feel guilty about what happened. But you need to understand that life isn't measured only by happy moments or tragedies. Every experience, every pain, every loss has meaning, even if we can't see it right away. Those words resonated in my head, penetrating deep, touching parts of me that I had tried to ignore or hide. Rex continued to look at me with his calm and understanding eyes, and it was as if he was reading inside me, as if he understood every dark corner of my heart. You don't have to carry all this weight alone, Rex continued. I've always been by your side, and I still will be, even if in a different way. Every animal that has loved and protected its owner ends up here, in this place, where we can wait and be together until the right time comes. He spoke to me of an eternal place, a refuge for the souls of our faithful companions. He explained that when my time came, we would reunite in that prairie, along with all the other animals that had been part of my life. There would be no more suffering, no separation. We would live in an eternity of peace and love. But now, he added in a more decisive tone, you need to go back. Your mission on Earth isn't finished yet. There's still much you can do, much you can give. And remember, every step you take, I'll be there with you, guiding you, protecting you as I always have. I felt an incredible strength growing inside me, a strength I didn't think I had anymore. Rex's words had given me a new perspective, a sense of purpose that I thought I had lost. I realized that despite all the pain and loss, there was still a reason I needed to keep living. I couldn't throw away everything life, Rex, and even the people I had lost had taught me. With newfound determination, I felt the prairie begin to dissolve around me, like a dream fading with the dawn. But it wasn't a goodbye. I knew that in the end, we would be reunited. And this awareness brought me back to reality, not with despair, but with new strength. I woke up suddenly, lying on the couch with the empty bottle beside me. My heart was pounding, and I still felt Rex's warmth close to me. That experience had changed me. I now understood that despite all the pain and loss, there was still a reason I needed to keep living. I couldn't throw away everything my father, Rex, and even Sarah had taught me. With new determination, I began to rebuild my life. I enrolled in a training course to become a grief counselor, inspired by my own pain and the desire to help others overcome theirs. I also decided to adopt another dog, not to replace Rex, but to honor his memory by offering love to another living being. Today, my life is very different. I've found a new job, met people who understand my journey, and am beginning to build a new relationship. But the most important thing is that I've realized I'm not alone. Rex, in some way, continues to walk by my side, and his love saved me at a time when everything seemed lost. This experience taught me that even in the darkest moments, there is always a light, a hope to hold on to. And that hope can come from where you least expect it, even from an old friend who left too soon, but still loves you more than you could ever imagine.